Every day, thousands of people hit the road heading towards their dreams. But sometimes those dreams collide with a harsh reality. Auto accidents with 18-wheelers can change lives in an instant. That's why you need the experience and expertise of St. Martin and Bork. With over 50 years of experience, St. Martin and Bork have fought for justice for the victims of truck accidents.
If you've been in a wreck with an 18-wheeler, know your rights.
Call St. Martin and Bork today to schedule your free consultation.
Go ahead and get started with our program. Hopefully everyone has had a chance to get some breakfast and some coffee. Want to just welcome everyone to our new workforce and nursing building here at Fletcher Technical Community College. As I look around the room this morning, I see so many friends of our college. Individuals who are students, alums, community members, foundation board members, legislators, elected officials. And you know, one of the things that I've come to realize about this building and all of the work that has gone into bringing it to fruition today is that it has truly been a community effort. And that is what we are here to celebrate today. And I am so excited that I get to do that with each of you. If you don't know me, my name is Christine Strickland. I have the honor and the privilege of being the chancellor here at Fletcher Technical Community College. And I just wanted to start by saying, as I looked out over the room and I looked at my lovely speakers up here this morning, I just wanted to say, y'all did great. You understood the assignment. All the blue, right? Everybody got up this morning and said, what about, oh, it's blue this morning. I'm wearing that, right? So thank you so much, because that support is amazing as well. Before I get to introducing our guest speakers here this morning, I do want to recognize a few individuals who are here with us today in celebration. And if they are here, if you would either stand or maybe wave your hand if you're standing to be recognized. Mr. Doug Sheremy, Special Assistant to Governor Jeff Landry. Mr. Kevin Claymore, Mayor of the City of Thibodeau. Mr. Clyde Hamner, Terrebonne Parish City Council, Parish Council. And Mr. Christian Bergeron in representing Congressman Garrett Graves. Thank you all so much for being with us. So as mentioned before, this building certainly is beautiful. But I think I always say that what happens inside the building is where the magic really, really happens. And this building does represent a collective effort on behalf of so many people in our community. And I want to share a little bit about that with you this morning as we go through our program. But first, I think it's important, we like to talk about what's our why. And our why for this building comes from some tremendous growth that we are seeing here at Fletcher Technical Community College. I am excited to announce that we just finished some of our year-end reports. Last year, our enrollment growth here at the institution was 18%. 18% of enrollment. And in fact, beyond that, we issued over 2,200 credentials to individuals within our community that help them move their lives to upskill, to reskill, to find that new job. And we are exceptionally proud, not only of all the students we educate, but especially those, right, where they have completed that credential that earns them the opportunity to go to the next phase of their life. And we are very thrilled to be able to do that. This morning, I shared with a few people, I'll share with you, all right? I was a little excited and nervous about this morning. And so I started thinking about the building. Okay. Oh, okay. Although we're in a nursing building, we got you. But as I was laying in bed last night, I started thinking about today. And to be honest, I rewrote the entire script, much to my team's dismay. But what I wanted to really speak to this morning is the story of this building. Because we can celebrate, we're going to cut a ribbon, and you're going to see some magnificent facilities, state-of-the-art facilities. that have been constructed here. But again, kind of going back to our why and how this building came to be, because it has been a long time coming. Many of you in this room were involved from the very initial stages of this. But I thought about this building really as a story. And each of the individuals who has joined me up on the stage this morning represents a portion or a chapter in the story. And so I am very excited to hear from each of them as they speak to how this building came to be. So I want to kick it off, with, as any good story does, with once upon a time. Once upon a time, there was a supervisor or board of supervisors who recognized that our community colleges had tremendous needs around the state for new facilities and new investment. We were seeing growing enrollments, we were seeing an interest, a heightened interest in technical and community college education, and they had the vision to develop a path to get these new facilities done. And so I wanted to invite one of our board members who's here with us this morning, who was there with that initial visioning, right, to come up and speak to a little bit about that. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Stevie Smith, first chair for our Board of Supervisors. He's also a member of our Board of Directors for our Fletcher Foundation, and also chairs our Facilities Corporation, the group who supervises the funds to make sure that all of these buildings, all of this construction happens and comes to life. So, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Chancellor. As she just mentioned, I get the opportunity to speak to you because I'm involved at 3 or 4 different levels of this project. And again, listen to you talk about in terms of a fairy tale. I think it's once upon a time because I'm probably the only person who didn't pay the light bill. I'm the only person that's been around this dang place for the last 20 years, right? For some reason. Look, as she mentioned, probably back in 07, 08, the legislature saw fit to enact a program that allowed us to build facilities like this around the state using what we call alternative financing means. We created a private not-for-profit corporation. That private not-for-profit corporation has sold close to $600 million in bonds to build facilities like this around the state. One of the first ones that was built is the front building up here, which now, if you've been around, has been around for about 10 to 12 years at least. So that was one of the first buildings of the program. This building happened to be one of the last ones. There's only 3 left, including this one. There's one in Nunez and Chalmette that we just dedicated a couple of weeks ago, and we had another one at Delgado. It's been a very, very, very successful program for us to deliver facilities like this to educate students around the state. As Christine mentioned, I got volunteered to be the chairman of that corporation some time ago. And to me, it's kind of amazing to see these things get implemented around the state. One of the nuances of the program that we have now is we mandate that our institutions partner with their communities to build these facilities. We require a local match. We require our chancellors, their leadership teams to go into the community and make them invest with you. Before you could tap into the program that I just described, this institution had to go into the community and get 12% of the dollars from local matches, okay? And as we transition that over the years, I think that's a wonderful thing because it makes everybody in this room become investors in this facility to buy in, and it creates a mandate to the chancellor and her team to perform because your investors are at Rouse's every day with you. Your investors are at the subway across the street and they want to see you perform. So to me, I think that's been a very good thing. For this building, this is about a $9 million building. Surely half of it came from non-state money. So about 4.5 came from a variety of sources. She's going to emphasize those as we go through the program today, but that's a significant investment by us in this building. And I appreciate the opportunity, Franklin Chancellor, to be a part of it today. Thank you.
Our next guest has also been just a tremendous supporter of our community and technical college system around the state and is a huge supporter of higher education. That is our Commissioner, Kim Hunter-Reid. Commissioner Reed is no stranger to Fletcher Technical Community College. She has been not only engaged at the state level in terms of policy and advocacy work on behalf of our institutions, but she has very frequently, as many of you know, been on the ground with us here, coming down after Hurricane Ida and helping distribute supplies, being here to deliver out STEM fun boxes for Halloween post-storm so that our kids could have maybe a little bit more normal Halloween post-Ida. And so she has always just been such a strong advocate, just recently a commencement speaker of ours as well. So we thank her so much for her dedication and her efforts to this institution and to bringing this facility to life. I also want to just take a moment to highlight that one of the things that Commissioner Reed has championed for our institution is the work that we have done here at Fletcher around resiliency and recovery. Many of you in the community have heard me speak about the role that we see our college playing in the recovery of our community post any type of crisis or natural disaster. And it is through the advocacy work of Commissioner Reed that we were the recipient and the pilot institution for dollars that were given to us by our legislature to look at what the future of our institutions need to look like, specifically in terms of times of recovery. And so this facility is the first, I believe, in the state that is rolling out some of these resiliency infrastructure projects. And so we're very proud of that. But I'd like to invite Commissioner Reed forward to come and say a few words about her part in the story.
Good morning. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. Christine, thank you for your leadership and for your commitment and for your energy. I will tell you, as she mentioned, I've been here many times and every time it's standing room only. The community shows up and shows out for Fletcher because Fletcher is of and for and with this community. And that makes a tremendous difference. So what's our why? We educate so that people can thrive, so that their communities can be supported, so that their families get better and continue to prosper. That's the work that we do each and every day. And so when I saw that we were finally cutting this ribbon, I'm like, hot dog, I'm coming back over here. One more time, one more blue suit. Let me go out here and rock this blue suit and be a part of this conversation. It is an important conversation because we know pillars of great institutions, of great communities bring together workforce and healthcare. Those are foundational to the success of communities that thrive across this country. And so in this building, we see those pillars, a workforce facility, but also a nursing and allied health facility combined together. And you can go in any community, in any state in this country and talk about what do you need and what are the employees going to say, the CEOs, we need more workers. We need more workers. We're looking for great employees. And you can go anywhere in any community in this state or other ones and you ask, what else do you need? And they'll say, we need more healthcare heroes. We need more nurses. We need more respiratory therapists. We need more allied health professionals. And so we will be addressing the needs of this Bayou region in a big way in this facility. And I see students that are here and we're so proud and excited for you in this opportunity. We know there are faculty and staff here who will pour into these students to make sure that they are job ready to lead and learn on day one as they move out into their jobs. And so we're very proud of that. I thank of course, the partners that Stevie mentioned, as a great board member, Ochsner and Terrebonne General, the USDA as well, for the grant dollars that help to make this possible. You have a lot of phenomenal delegation members on this stage as well, and I'm so grateful to them. Our former appropriations chair, Z Zarang, who's quite an education champion, and certainly Senator Fessy and Representative Almody and so many others who have really been a part of trying to make sure that this community gets exactly what it needs. And that is very important. So the other thing that I would say is the resiliency piece. When we have had to weather storms We know that we don't have the luxury of educating in the environment we wish we had in higher education. We educate in the environment we do have. And so come hurricanes or floods or pandemics, whatever it may be, our institution and our great leaders lean in and say, what can we do to keep the learning going? Why? Because we know that for Louisiana citizens to literally weather any storm, they need to have access to training. They need to have those great jobs that allow them to weather any storm, literally weather any storm. And so that's our why we come today, why we celebrate each and every one of you. Our why is about our people, our students who are young and young at heart, our faculty and staff, our community, people who learn, people who lead, people who educate, people who serve, people who are committed. And that is why we are so excited to be a part of this celebration today as a fan of Fletcher, to come and be a part of it and say, thank you. Thank you for serving. Thank you for committing. Thank you for being a part of something special for the students and for this community as well. I appreciate the opportunity to come.
Thank you, Commissioner Reed, and thanks for making the drive. Our next three speakers, we have mentioned already as champions of education and champions of Fletcher Technical Community College. Their service to our community at the state level in our state legislature, they have been leaders among their peers, but they are certain leaders within our community. And I want to take a moment just to say thank you so much for your continued support of Fletcher and all that we do here. We're going to start by talking a little bit with our next part of our story with our legislative delegation, who were the individuals who decided and made the commitment to make the investment into Act 360 and Act 391, which brought these beautiful facilities to life. And so I'd like to start with Senator Big Mike Facey to offer a few words.
Thank you, Christine. It's been an honor working with you through all this time and see the great work she's done here at this technical college. It's been a long time in coming that, we see Louisiana striving harder and harder in its university systems and college systems. And looking at what we see is we're losing so many of our students leaving once they graduate and go to other states. So, we need to fight harder to keep them here. And I think the technical colleges are most important to keep our citizens here in our state. So, keeping our graduates here, I have a few ideas that I want to bring to session. Next session is maybe checking with all our companies and all our organizations who hire our students once they graduate, is by getting maybe some kind of tax credit on their salary so we can match them before they leave and go to another state. And I think holding those people and those graduates here in our state would help solve our problems and trying to get help. My business struggles all the time trying to find good workers. Me and Christine has tried a number of things. COVID kind of messed us up, and we're trying to get back on track to get training in the pipeline industry. But we just need a lot of togetherness, which I see it happening here, looking around this room, and how many people that came to this event is so important to what we do. And I just want to say, I'll continue on the Finance Committee striving for our universities and technical colleges. Just want to say God bless our universities and technical colleges. God bless Louisiana, and God bless the United States. Thank you.
Now, please join me in welcoming, representing District 51, Representative Beryl Amity.
Thank you, Dr. Strickland. So you are in House District 51, so welcome. Well, this morning, I didn't really have any remarks written until I got here and sat down. So I'll be brief. But as most of you know, what I like to do, because I'm an analytical person, is get up and give you statistics and data. I love it, but I know it puts a lot of people to sleep. So I didn't bother to do that this morning, but I was still wondering, what is the best thing that I can say? What's the best that I can say? So I figured that up on this platform and surely within this room, we have people here who have been working on this project for a long time. We have people here who can tell you every step along the way, from dream to ribbon cutting. We have people here who can discuss the design and the contracting that was required to get to this point. We have people who can discuss every dollar, the cost, where every dollar came from, how much was needed, how much was used, how much we're going to need. We have people who can discuss the impact and give you statistics and data that I love, with numbers and even projections. So I was wondering, so what can I give? Well, I do sit on appropriations again, and I do sit on the education committee as vice chair. But still, I don't think that if I shared the information from those two positions, it would be what's most important. So what's most important? Well, today we're doing a ribbon cutting on this building. It's a grand opening of the building. But as you probably know, as nice as the building is, it's really not about the building. It's about the people. This building would just fall and crumble to dust after so many years, if not for the people. They call buildings facilities. Why? Because they facilitate. What does this building facilitate? Well, what goes on right here at this college. So it's about the staff. It's about the students. And it's about the community that the staff and the students impact every day. So as we heard earlier, 2,200 credentials were issued last year. And of course, Fletcher's growing again, so we expect more next year, right? Yes?
Yes.
So what's important is that every single one of those 2,200 credentials has a story. Every single credential changed a life in some way. And not just a life, but lives. Even if that person was an individual who doesn't even have a family, we're community. So that person's new credential affects not only their life, but all those around them. Their boss, their coworkers, their customers, their clients. Whatever it is that they've used that credential to do, it impacts the community. So, to put a little skin on it, think about it. What does this college enable? What will this building facilitate? We'll put some skin on it. Because of what goes on here, there's a young man who can now more quickly increase his earning potential, his earning ability, so that he can better provide for his family. There's a single parent who will now be able to rise up more quickly in financial independence and not have to rely on government programs anymore. There's a mature woman who can earn credentials so that she will better provide for herself in her retirement years. Or there's a couple who will increase their ability to take care of their aging parents, while at the same time taking care of their young children. That's what it's about. That's what this facility facilitates. Change lives, improve lives. So Fletcher, right here, I'm proud to say in District 51, is a gem on the Bayou. Fletcher grows again today. And that gives us all reason to celebrate. Thank you.
And certainly, last but not least, representing District 52, please join me in welcoming Representative Jerome Z. Zaray.
Thank you, Dr. Strickland. And I apologize for the unfortunate disruption of the earlier. I kicked my water under the, it wasn't me that fell, which might have been better. But the unfortunate reality is as I get older, I have a problem holding my water, so a lot of nurses know about that. But again, this is a multifunctional building. That's right. You can get that checked after we take the tour. So, how important, you've heard it referenced how important this building, the structure is. And again, I applaud Dr. Reed and Dr. Strickland. After the storm, this facility, not this facility, but it's spurred the development of this facility, was an important distribution center. And the way in the resilience aspect and how it was constructed is going to go a long way in helping for future storms, because again, we all know it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And unfortunately, we're going to have to use this facility in many respects to respond to and help the people who are in desperate need after storms. And this building will be able to do that, which is great, with forethought and the ability of not only to address the issues from the academic perspective, but also from the community. And it's important in looking at the potential for this building and developing the workforce, but also the nursing aspect about this, how important the allied health and the nurses are to what we have to build in terms of the shortages that we have to address. And we did some of that during this past legislative session. And again, Representative Brock Myers, who was leading a lot of this effort, he said it best when he said the need to reserve Louisiana's healthcare workforce shortage has grown more urgent as waves of seasoned nurses prepare to retire and nursing schools struggle to train enough healthcare professionals to fill existing job opportunities. Thousands of qualified applicants have been denied nursing school admission because of capacity challenges during the last decade. And meanwhile, experts warn that the more than 15,000 of Louisiana's most seasoned nurses could retire by 2028. So the problem is not necessarily people or having the desire to become nurses, it's our ability to train them. And again, this facility will go a long way to doing that, because it's estimated in at least, not estimated, we're going to lose a lot, but in 2023, 36%, over 22,526 licensed RNs residing in Louisiana were 50 years and older. They do a great job, but unfortunately getting close to retirement age. And of that, 16%, over 10,233 were 60 years and older. So there's no doubt we are going to have significant turnover, and there is a need. So what we've done, and has been mentioned in the legislature in the past to help support that effort, because ever since the pandemic, it became obvious in realization that not only are we needing nurses, but it also increased the demand as well. But in 2019, $2.5 million annual appropriations to the Health Working Commission restarted the nurse capitation program and working on trying to increase the opportunities for nurses. In 2021, Senator Bob Henskins led an effort to provide for the HERO Fund. Those are monies that will be allocated to the Louisiana Healthcare Working Commission to primarily through existing programs that's going to provide nursing and allied health schools funding and grants to increase class sizes, which is significant. And also in House Bill 642 that same year, Speaker Schexnayder made an initial appropriation of over $5 million to the HERO Fund. And in 2022, $2.5 million was provided to the Louisiana Community and Technical Colleges for expanding healthcare workforce training programs, and $10.5 million to the MJ Foster Promise Fund for tuition assistance in students in high demand fields, including healthcare. And in 2023, Act 33, which streamlined and updates the law allowing hospitals to provide nursing and allied health scholarships, an additional $15 million to the HERO Fund was appropriated in 2023. So we've done a lot more needs to be done, but the reality is it's important to address the shortfall, and we're working to do that because nurses are critically important. In fact, when I was looking at some things and how important nurses actually are, from cradle to grave, in every aspect of healthcare, a nurse is involved. And just looking at some of the numbers and importance of significance nurses play, that nurses outnumber doctors typically 4-1. Now, I didn't realize that, but for every doctor or physician, there are 4 nurses. Obviously, we need to have more. And that nurses, I didn't realize this, walk a marathon in a week. There's a study done in the UK that found that nurses walk an average of 59,657 steps per week, which translates to about 26.25 miles, which is pretty significant. I know they worked hard, but geez, I didn't realize they worked that long. And not few nurses, who knows the symbol of nursing? What is the symbol? Not you nurses can't cheat. I mean, like, you see it a lot. I didn't realize what the significance of it, but it's an oil lamp. And the reason it's the oil lamp is because Florence Nightingale, established a lot of what we practice now in nursing. And this was during the Crimean War, where she would walk around and treat patients, but she would carry an oil lamp, so she was recognized as the lady with the lamp. And so that's why oil lamps are the symbol for nurses. And that this is an interesting aspect too. In 2022, there was a Gallup poll that was conducted on the most trusted and honest profession. And nursing came out #1. And nursing has been the #1 profession since 1999. There was only one year when they weren't #1, and that was in 2021, and that was after 9/11, and that's when the firefighters were #1. Nurses came in second. But since then, they have been and continue to be the most honest, ethical, and trusted profession, and how important it is. I looked up trying to find politicians, but we didn't. We didn't make that scale. We're working on that. But again, I think it's important that we are continuing to work and supporting, and these efforts will continue to improve our opportunities for the workforce and allied health professions. And I appreciate and applaud Dr. Strickland. Dr. Reed, I know, has been an advocate not only here, but across the state, and working to address that shortfall, which is important. We're working to do that. There's a lot more that needs to be done, but this definitely helps. And thank you all for being here. Thank you for having me, and good luck with the new building.
So as you heard Supervisor Smith mention a little bit earlier, when I was named the Chancellor at Fletcher Technical Community College, this project was underway. But yet we still had to achieve our 12% match. And one of the first requests that I made was to our Terrebonne Parish Consolidated Government. And at the time, Parish President Gordy Dove was very generous to sit with me to hear out what we had envisioned for this program. And he and the Parish Council were very, very generous in making a significant contribution to this project. So it's an honor today to recognize as well another tremendous supporter of Fletcher Technical Community College, who today sits as our Parish President of Terrebonne Parish. Please join me in welcoming Parish President Jason Basham.
Thank you, Dr. Strickland, and I'm really saying I'm honored to have called Dr. Strickland a friend. I think at least 10 years now. We worked together at the chamber. When I was chair of the chamber, she was my education vice chair. From that time on, I knew and learned how much of a rock star that she is. And so I really want to give her a round of applause again, if you guys don't mind. She can talk about her team, and everybody else that did it, but I think it's her great leadership that really provides the jewel that we have in our region, because Fletcher made such a huge difference to not only Terrebonne Parish, but to our entire region. And I do want to commend her, because it sounds like she's been practicing her name, so you did a good job. Hopefully it stays that way. And Z, I'd like to thank you for not getting your water on us when you couldn't hold it. And also, when it comes to that politician ranking, I'm working on it. But look, when I look at what Fletcher means to myself and what Fletcher's meant to success in my career and in my businesses, I can remember taking the CEO Roundtable course at the building back here, probably 10, 15 years ago. And so Fletcher really speaks to businesses like mine when it comes to being able to get people into the workforce faster and certifications, and for those that maybe can't or don't want to get a college degree, that Fletcher can be that boutique education and really apply and be agile to get what's needed in the workforce immediately. And so I look around the room and I see what we mean as a community and the opportunities that we come together and we provide, the opportunity for economic diversification, the opportunity for our residents and our businesses to have more opportunities to be successful. I really commend the work that Fletcher and everybody that's spoken before and will speak for coming together and helping us move Fletcher forward, move Terrebonne Parish forward, move our region forward, and move our state forward, which eventually helps us move our nation forward. And so I really commend everybody for coming together, everybody that serves. I think in each and every role, whether you're on board, part of the chamber, or doing whatever you can in office or with your business to serve our community, it's greatly needed, and it will take all of us to get where we need to be. But this is a sign of recovery, of rebuilding post-Ida, to see where we are today and where we're going in the future. We have a ton of opportunity, and I talk about how I feel like we have just as much opportunity, if not more opportunity now. And Terrebonne Parish's 200-year history has set the path for our success for the next 200 years. So thank everybody for all their hard work, and thank you for being here today.
All right, so we're about halfway through our story. And you know what happens in a great story? Plot twist. So we're going to pivot a little bit because, in fact, in this story, there was a bit of a plot twist. So as we were moving forward with our Act 360 project and all of the amazing donations that were coming to do our 12% match, all of a sudden appeared on our radar, and thanks to our good friends at South Central Planning, they identified that there was an EDA grant opportunity out there and available to the college. And we sat down and thought long and hard about it, and we realized that specifically there was an opportunity to address our nursing shortage and to add on to this incredible facility. And so that's exactly what we did. We went forward and we wrote for an EDA grant, and fortunately we were successful. But of course, because we have this amazing community, we had two tremendous partners who stepped up and said, you guys have done great work in securing this EDA. We want to step up and help match that. And so thanks so much to our partners with Terrebonne and Ochsner Health Systems, who each donated $1 million toward the expansion of our nursing wing. We were able to expand this footprint, in fact, doubling the size of the building and doubling the amount of resources that we had to construct it. So we're going to turn now to those individuals and give them a minute to talk a little bit about their part in our story here today. I'd like to start with Ms. Diane Yates, our COO of Terrebonne General Health System. Ms. Phyllis Peoples was not able to be here with us today, and I know she's very sad about that, but she has also just been a tremendous advocate for our institution and such a strong supporter, and I just wanted to personally take a moment to say thank you to her for everything that she has done for us here. So please join me in welcoming Diane.
Good morning, everybody. I'm very pleased and honored to be a part of this distinguished panel of our local and state officials, our leaders, and other colleagues who have certainly come together this morning to celebrate and officially open yet another valuable expansion of Fletcher Technical Community College. When Terrebonne General was first approached several years ago by the one and only Tim Mallon, who was our board member and is now the board chairman, and approached Ochsner as well, it really wasn't a difficult decision to agree to support the expansion of a nursing and allied health program. It made absolute sense for us to support an organization that was already growing and thriving in the community. We knew in the long run it would feed Terrebonne General and Chabert and other healthcare organizations in the region with eventual qualified employees. I want to thank our board members of Terrebonne General, of Ochsner, and of Fletcher Technical Community College, as well as all of the officials who assisted in making this partnership happen. We're very excited for the students from the region and others to have such a fine institution available to them. We're proud of the work that Fletcher has done to bring education resources that are specifically needed for the area. Which is one of the many important steps to keeping our young people here working and living, which is certainly an issue as we see people leaving the state. You know, doing these types of things keeps our young people here in the state and in our community. It allows Terrebonne General, as the largest healthcare provider in the region, to preserve our ability to care for you and our friends, families, and neighbors. Far into the future, as these new healthcare professionals and nurses come out of the programs at Fletcher. It is our workers that are making a difference to the patients. The opening of this beautiful facility, however, is only part of this dream project. I agree with Parish President that Dr. Strickland is a rock star, for sure. It's what goes on the inside that's most important. It is the heart of Dr. Strickland and her amazing team of administrators and educators who've been preparing for these programs in a very big way. They have done a really great job of keeping us connected in building these programs, whether it's serving on planning committees, doing presentations to the community, or just reaching out for general advice. Many of our leaders have been here from our organizations to kind of help formulate programs and design programs for the betterment of students. We thank you, Dr. Strickland, and your team for the work you do each and every day, and we look forward to seeing the fruits of your labor continue to grow. We thank you very much to all those who made this happen, and this is certainly what makes strong communities even thrive more. So thank you very much. And this time I would like to introduce Mr. Earl Hughes. He's the chairman of both Terrebonne General Health System and also Leonard J. Chabert Medical Center. It is the same board that governs both facilities. So I'd like for him to say just a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Diane, and what a pleasure to be here today. I'm so excited to have this new facility here in Terrebonne Parish and also our region. I've been married to a nurse for 33 years, and for 33 years I've heard every day we have a shortage, we need some help, okay? So what a great opportunity for our residents here, our children, a facility where our children can come here and learn and be able to stay in our area and be employed by the medical facilities that are here in our region. I know Dr. Strickland has gotten a lot of praise today, and I'm going to give her some more, because what a great opportunity to have someone here who thinks outside of the box every day. Okay, it's amazing for her to be here to push this facility further, not only under the healthcare, but every other program that she has here in our region. We have a lot of people here that are associated with Fletcher, and it's all of you people here in this building today that make this such a great facility. And you know, I travel around the state a lot, and I tell people all the time, whatever is in our region, and a lot of it's like Region 3, you know, I know there's other numbers for the other organizations. We have the best regions in the state of Louisiana. And you can ask anyone when you go out of state and ask, what are you doing for this? What are you doing for that? And you will find out that we are doing everything much better than what's going on in the rest of the state. And we have to attribute that to the people that live here in this region. We have to attribute that to our leaders that are here today. So on behalf of the Board of Commissioners of Terrebonne General Health System, we are glad to be a partner with Fletcher, and we look forward to many more partnerships with Fletcher and to push this facility and their programs as far as we can and to make this whole region a better place. So thank you all for being here today.
And please now join me in welcoming the CEO of Actioner Bayou Region, Mr. Furnace Lalong.
Thank you, Dr. Strickland. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me here for this important celebration. I would like to also thank Dr. Strickland, our rock star, and all the other Fletcher representatives for their leadership and collaboration throughout this incredible project. And a big thank you to Phyllis, who isn't here today, Diane Yates, Earl Hughes, and our other partners at Terrebonne General Health System. You know, every time that I come to a Fletcher celebration, I get really excited. I get inspired, and I just want to get involved and give back. But because of the things that's happening here at Fletcher and the impact it's having in the Bayou region, many of you may or may not know that I started my educational journey in a community college just like this at Fletcher. Because of this, I realized the value and importance of having an outstanding community college at home. How lucky are we to have Fletcher right here at home? So fortunate. This is why our partnership is incredibly important to me. Through this partnership, Ochsner is thrilled to support the significant growth of Fletcher's nursing and allied health programs by more than tripling the enrollment capacity, more than doubling the size of its faculty. We're not only investing in the future of our healthcare workforce, but also the well-being of our community. So it's an honor for me to witness the future of healthcare education taking shape in our community. And Ochsner is excited to join Fletcher in this critical endeavor. And on behalf of the entire Ochsner organization, we thank you for working with us to support the growth of both the healthcare field and our local economy. So together, we will recruit, educate, train, and most importantly, retain the strong healthcare talent that we have right here in the Bayou region. Because of our commitment to our partnership with Fletcher, I look forward to exciting things to come in the years ahead. So thank you all again for having me today. I'm proud to be part of this special event and what Fletcher is doing here in our communities. Thank you.
So I know some of you, when you get to the end of the book, some of you out there are the folks who like to just have a cliffhanger, right? You like to make up what happens next. That's not me, y'all. I like pretty bows on my package. And so we're going to end with our final speaker this evening that I hope you will see brings this story full circle. Because our final donation that we received when we were working toward our match came from South Central Industrial Association. We met with their board to talk about the needs in our communities and what we thought we could accomplish in this facility. And what was really meaningful was they said not only yes to helping us complete that financial component to this structure, they also said yes to a deeper and more meaningful partnership, as you have heard so many of our partners do. In fact, as you probably noticed on your way in, you might have passed the new home of SCIA. It was our vision to bring our workforce and our students more closely tied together by enabling SCIA and their business and industry partnerships to be in the same space collaboratively with our students and with our educators so that we can remain cutting edge and looking forward to what the needs of business and industry are today. So please join me in welcoming the board chair of SCIA today, Mr. J.J. Buquet.
Thank you. Good morning. What a beautiful day and what a beautiful reason for us to gather here. Settle in for about a 20-minute chat. I won't keep you too long. No. First, I want to thank Dr. Strickland for inviting us here today. This facility, this campus, the staff and employees are so very critical to the development of the workforce needs of our community, and that fact simply cannot be overstated. That's why several years ago, as you just heard, South Central Industrial Association stepped up to be the last piece of the puzzle, not the biggest piece, but the last piece of the puzzle to achieve the match necessary for the creation of this facility. We couldn't have been more proud then. We can't be more proud now to now be housed here in this facility. And thank you so very much for making a little room for us. You know, many of you probably have heard the name Mike Rowe. He's the guy that does the Dirty Jobs show. He's the voice you hear in Deadliest Catch. Well, Mike has become quite the student of the workforce needs in this country, and he's rather outspoken about it. And he puts on a little podcast. I was listening to it the other day, and I had an alarming statistic that he shared I'd like to share with you. He said, in the United States today, for every 5 people who leave the pooled, skilled workforce, throughout the United States, for every 5 that leave, retire, what have you, only 2 are coming in. Put that statistic another way, the replacement rate of the U.S. skilled labor pool, the replacement rate is declining at 60%. Now, I don't know about you, but I find that terribly alarming. We're talking about our carpenters, our plumbers, our electricians, our nurses, our CDL drivers, construction workers, cookers, fitters, welders, the list goes on, right? Med techs, nurses. Now, Mike has a reason that he says why this is alarming to him, because he has an addiction problem. And I share Mike's addiction. I'm addicted to air conditioning, and I'm addicted to good roads, and the nurses, and so forth. So I know my wife's addicted to the UPS packages. So I share Mike's concern. Now, many of you may say, well, these are national statistics. They don't really affect maybe South Louisiana, and I would beg to differ. You know, at SCIA, we have a lot of shipbuilders in our membership. They tell me that collectively they could put as many as 5,000 people work today, here in Southeast Louisiana. And our unemployment rate right now, I don't know if is only 3,600, it's 4.1% right now. So if we had a better, a less mismatch of skill to available jobs, we could wipe out our unemployment right now. So, and they can't do all the bids that they'd like to do because they don't have the workforce to meet the jobs. So it's affecting our economy. I was having conversations with local folks at Terrebonne General Health Systems. They have always demand for nurses. Nursing today has starting wages around $27 an hour starting, right? And talk about, you know, Z talked about the replacement rate. They're not there. That we don't have the replacement rate necessary. I've had conversations with folks, plumbers, electricians, HVAC people, right? They have starting salaries at $17 to $21 an hour. Electricians, a skilled electrician today, several years, say 10 years in, is making as much as $80,000 a year. An HVAC or plumber, right, who's been on the job for 10, 15, 20 years, making $100 grand, $110 grand. All right, these are the employees, not the owner-operators, right? These are the employees. So huge demand, and these are noble professions. And Fletcher has the programming available to provide those skills, and it's just absolutely essential. You know, today we hear a lot about artificial intelligence and the fear around how it may replace so many jobs in the future going forward. Well, I got a little news flash for you. AI will not unclog your toilet. It will not wire your house. It will not hang your ductwork. It won't install your pipes, right? AI won't repair the downed power lines after a hurricane. And AI will not replace the IV arm for your chemotherapy treatment. Only properly trained people can do that. These people raise our standard of living. Their trades are noble, and we need them now more than ever because they are disappearing. And because Fletcher provides the training necessary for those skills, we need Fletcher now more than ever.
Oh, I don't know, y'all. I've gone from wanting to cry to wanting to cheer. It's just a lot of emotion. I do want to take a moment just to read through the names of the companies, individuals, partners that maybe we haven't already discussed who contributed, and they will be up on the screen behind me at the conclusion of the ceremony. But we want to recognize Valentine Chemicals, LLC, the Kenneth Wood Family, LLC, Michelle Claudet, Gobert Oil Company, Danos, Canadas, Robert Kelton, the Pelche Foundation, Right Away Maintenance Company, LLC, the Greater New Orleans Foundation, Mary and Al Danos Foundation, Synergy Bank, John Deere, the James Buquet Family Foundation, and the Contractors Educational Trust Fund, and Mr. Kenneth Wood Sr. So how about a round of applause for all of these individuals? So I'm going to take a little moment of personal privilege and say thank you to all of you for your kind words this morning. I want you to know that I truly believe that the reason why I get to do some of the things I get to do and why I can be innovative is because I have a community and a team here at Fletcher who consistently lifts me up. So thank you very much for that. So you may think that we have reached the end of our story, right? I started once upon a time, and this might be the place where we would put a pin on it and say the end, but it's not the end. It is absolutely just the beginning. And I just want to say thank you to all of the educators who are here in this room who are going to continue to bring life into this building, to educate and train our future workforce, to our students who are the shining light of our future for our communities. We wish you all the best this fall semester. And, you know, this morning, admittedly, I love my AARP magazine that I get in the morning newsletter, all right? I'm that age. But this morning there was a quote in it, and I thought it was very relevant to today, so I want to share that with you. And it was from Zig Ziglar, and it says, "What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals." And I believe that what we are about to become here at Fletcher Technical Community College is an incredible partner to business and industry, an incredible beacon of light for our students and for our community. And I look forward to continuing to serve this mission with every single one of you every day. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Okay, so now's the moment you've all been waiting for. How about we cut a ribbon? So I know many of you, and let me just say, remiss, I want to thank my dear partners and friends at GFP. Y'all, if you see anybody from GFP, please thank them. This facility is all of their masterpiece. Our friends at CSRS as well, and Thompson Construction for building this facility. But if you're on the ribbon cutting line, if you'll head out front, we're going to cut the ribbon. If you're not, there is still plenty of breakfast and coffee available. Please stick around. And self-guided tours will begin just momentarily. Thank you. Go. Go. Go.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights.